afternoon. This is Brett Forsberg with Logan Agri-Service. Today we're going to be looking at several sets of roots that we've got dug up. These came from some lighter soils, mostly a timber soil and some yellow clay soils northwest of Peoria. We're going to be looking at several different things. It's been very dry in this neighborhood, and so we soaked our roots and we're cleaning them up a little bit here to get a better look at them. And these fields also have some side dress plots that we're going to be evaluating our roots on today. We're going to look at several different things with this set of plants today. We dug these up as they are standing in front of you in the field, and then soaked them in a bucket and cleaned up their roots. The reason I brought these particular plants was so that we could study or look at the slight difference we're seeing here in emergence. And one of the ways that you can see that by stalk diameter is our plant on the right is quite a bit thinner, spindlier, and our plant on the left has got a thicker, heavier stalk. The other way is by how much the plant has stretched or tried to outgrow its competition. The other thing that you can start picking out is the distancing in between nodes on the plant. So you can see that all the way up the plant. As that plant that came up out of the ground, slightly behind its neighbor, stretches out and tries to outgrow or catch up to its neighbor. So we get a stretched out, spindlier stalk. The other effect that we're going to look at here a little bit is the amount of root mass and how the timing of emergence affected the amount of root. You can see correspondingly with the thinner stalk that we have a lot less root mass. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come through and we're going to trim off these brace roots so that we can get a better idea of some of the influences on this plant early. Okay, so we're partway through the process of trimming up the roots so we can get down to the early part of the season where we can really evaluate things like seed depth and effect on early root. All we've done here is peel off the higher two sets of brace roots. Okay, so this is our spindly stalk. Right here's our seed piece. We kind of get in here and look at that. We can see that we're basically an inch under our crown. But we can also see that our coleoptile, when it came out or off of the seed, had to do some extra work. It looks like it was held up a little bit there and had to push and twist to get up out of the ground. So he came up a little bit later than his neighbor, and that influence lasted all through the season. Okay, so here we're looking at our healthier stalk. Right here is what's left of our seed piece. You can see there that that seed piece, the way it was laying, the coleoptile came off of there and basically headed straight up. Didn't have to twist or push through any resistance. You can see that influence started immediately with our first set of roots that not only came off of the seed piece, how much more root mass there is coming off that seed piece right away, but how much bigger our roots are, our first set of roots coming off of that crown. So we got off to a much better start. So I did want to do a quick recap here on some of the slight differences here between the struggle of our seed piece getting up out of the ground and the influence that had then with not only that root mass coming off the seed piece, but that first set that came off the crown roots on our better stalk, and what that translated to as we went through the season. Basically, we're at 7/8 of an inch on our better stalk versus 3/4 of an inch on our spindlier stalk. But you can see right away just in the nodes how much influence that had in the growth pattern of that plant and how it really tried to stretch and catch up. Ultimately, both ears were placed 6 nodes up from the ground, so they were placed very similar as far as they were on the plant.